Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome to a little bit of a different video today. I decided we will be starting to add some of the more pertinent development diaries here as they concern Crusader Kings 3 to the channel, just to keep you updated and also to keep myself a little bit updated and read them a little bit more. There are always some dev diaries that are kind of meh, not a lot going on, but this one has some interesting information in it, and as you can tell by the title of both what you see right here and on the thumbnail and the description of this video, it is about winter. So let's scroll through this thing, and the first thing they talk about, there's no information yet regarding upcoming DLC content, so once that is available, then, well, we'll update you there. So for the next few weeks and the coming dev diaries, we'll talk a bit about what we have in store for the next major update, 1.3. So, you can expect 1.3 to land alongside the upcoming DLC. That's a big thing here. So obviously there's DLC in the works, probably relatively soon. I don't know. I don't have any insider information from Paradox, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. So winter is coming. Winter is being introduced to CK3, making the already unforgiving world of the Middle Ages a much harsher place. As winter approaches, the map will gradually get covered in snow, clearly showing the extent of the freezing cold. The system itself is fairly flexible and allows for a great degree of control, as we can set which provinces should experience winter and which shouldn't. In winter, this is an interesting one. Winter won't be limited to just the northernmost parts of the map, so we expect snow to appear in places such as the Persian Mountains or on the heights of the Tibetan Plateau. Here you can kind of see winter represented in-game as it's creeping down south. So with the introduction of winter comes new gameplay considerations. Key one here. It wouldn't be any point in adding this cool system if it didn't do anything interesting. Winter comes in 3 different variants: mild, normal, and harsh. Mild and normal winters will be fairly common throughout Central Europe and parts of Southern Europe, while harsh winters are rarer but can still occur. If you find yourself lost in the frozen landscape of places such as Sapmi, Mongolia, or Himalaya even, expect harsh winters to be the norm and plan accordingly. And of course, I assume this will have something to do with army movement, attrition, supplies, and so on. We wanted to make sure that it's easy to see what level of winter is present in any given barony at a glance. The amount of snow increases with higher levels. Mild winters should generally be fairly easy to spot, with patches of green still clearly visible. In contrast, harsh winters mostly cover an entire province with snow. Certain areas might even have clouds with steady snowfall appearing for that extra level of detail. I'll show you those animations here in a second. Depending on the severity of winter, your armies will start to lose supply over time. Harsh winters means you'll lose more supply each month, making it a risky business to go above the supply limit for an extended period during the winter season. Harsh winters will also have armies suffer more fatal casualties during battles. So this kind of helps replicate that true historical fact that you had a campaigning season for many periods during history, especially in the Middle Ages and in the ancient world, where they tended to not campaign during the winter, even though of course it did occasionally happen, but because winter is pretty harsh in general, but then you throw in military maneuvers, it gets even more difficult. Winter will also have an effect on your men-at-arms. Most noticeably, cavalry units will perform worse in normal and harsh winters. Heavy cav in particular will suffer some hefty penalties. You can see it right here shown. Winter effects. So you had the terrain effects, and I talk about that in my guide to the military, part 1 and part 2. And now they have added harsh winter. So that's something to keep in mind. And it looks like there's a new unit here, Mountaineers. Very interesting. Or at least new to me. They may already be in the game, but just noticing them here for the first time. On the other hand, some men-at-arms will get sometimes quite significant bonuses while fighting. One such unit is the Tibetan culture unit Mountaineers. So here we go. I just didn't continue reading, so this is in Tibet. You have the Mountaineers. They will get a damage +5 while fighting in winter. Accustomed to the cold and the snow of the mountains, they can utilize it to their advantage. Fantastic. So I wonder, now they've mentioned Tibet and Persia now a few times. Does this mean we're extending maybe the map? Or just getting more flavor in Central Asia? The system for setting winter bonuses or penalties, if you will, on men-at-arms works just like setting terrain bonuses, making it very friendly for any modders out there. So anybody out there modding anything, keep that in mind. While winter and snow may look and play nice, it wouldn't be complete without a fitting soundscape. So they added some effects. I'm not going to play the music here or the sounds. It just doesn't really matter that much to me. It's going to be there. And you've got some VFX as well. So tread carefully. What do we have here? Let's take a look here. So this is kind of what it looks like. Let me open that up. You can see the snow is coming down here on your holding. Looks pretty cool under development. So the snowstorms are spawned on the map with the particle system, which allows us to be able to spatialize the sound effects. As the mild snowstorm morphs into the harsh storm, so do the sound effects. Leave you with this, a snippet of what goes on under the hood inside, okay, during the winter. All right, let's see, what is this? That is heavy winter music that I am not playing in the background, so we'll just move on. So we've got an obligatory map update. Anyone who has followed the history of CK2 or the development diaries for CK3 will know that I do enjoy my maps, and I'll try to get in smaller map updates or improvements whenever I can. Since release, we've identified a few general areas that we think can be improved upon. Some of these will be updated in 1.3. First up, Ireland. Very important. Noob Island. The Baronies, or Tutorial Island. The Baronies in Ireland were a bit too large. I will agree with that, definitely. Making the Emerald Island have a significant less holding density than its neighbors, England and Scotland. Now that's an important thing also as you're learning the game. It was you could roll Ireland and conquer it pretty quickly, to be honest. The western half of Ireland in particular suffered from a few quite large baronies. To solve this issue, we've added a number of new baronies along with a couple of new counties. That should improve the overall experience of playing in Ireland. Very nice, very nice. I love that. Breaking it down a little bit more, making it a little bit harder also to just steamroll Ireland. While Italy hasn't suffered from larger baronies in the same vein as Ireland, the area didn't quite feel up to par with many other regions within Europe. Now, I do have a guide on Italy, so you may want to check that one out as well, and I tend to agree. Having lived in Italy for a while, it's, yeah, you needed to break it up a little bit more, and especially in terms of overall holding count. Italy generally had a bit too few holdings per county, so we've added new baronies in various places throughout the peninsula, from the slopes of the Alps all the way down to Reggio Calabria. The southern half in particular got some much needed attention. In the new setup, you'll find significantly less counties with only 2 baronies. So you'll have more baronies in the counties. To mention a few examples, you'll find that the county of Veneto has Malamocco as a new barony. Agnone can be found in the county of Lanciano. And Lecce is now an actual holding in the county with the same name. So that's good. That'll definitely make Italy a more interesting place to play. So that is really it. Not a ton going on here, but I'll be honest, upping the map a little bit in Italy and in Ireland is good, but obviously adding the winter elements. And this is going alongside the DLC that will come out. Here's the thing. You could expect 1.3 to land alongside the upcoming DLC. So that when the DLC comes out, we will have winter. So if we look here, this is definitely Central Asia. And they talk about it a lot of times. They've got Mountaineers here. So is this going to be a Central Asian focused DLC? We will have to wait and see. Could be something very, very interesting. So let me know down in the comments what you think the DLC will be. What do you want it to be? And what you think about these winter effects coming in, and maybe also about the new map updates. And then let me know if you want these dev diaries on a regular basis, covering every single dev diary that's out there, or just the ones that are more important. So until next time, I am Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon.